Dijital çağda tüm yönleriyle eğitim konu sunumlarını yapmak üzere Profesör Doktor Todd Price'a sözü bırakmadan önce oturum başkanı Doktor Seda Baysal Doğruluğu davet ediyorum. Before inviting Associated Professor Todd Price to present his talk on all aspects of education in the digital age, I would like to invite Session Chair Dr. Seda Baysal Doğruluk.
Hello, Todd.
Hello. Are you,
Okay, how is it going?
very good. Thank you.
Very good.
Uh,
First of all, it's an honor for us to see you with us, and thanks for accepting our invitation. And welcome to our second International Educational Sciences and Effective Practices Congress. Your topic is really intriguing. It will be about education in all aspects in the digital age. Now, do you have a presentation, by the way? Can you share your
yes,
slides?
yes. Let me see if I can.
Okay. Sevgili katılımcılarımız, Profesör Doktor Todd Price, National Louis Üniversitesi, American National Louis Üniversitesi'nden.
You can see okay? Yes.
Okay, we can see now.
Very good.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, thank you. First of all, it's very much a pleasure to be speaking with you. I'm a director of curriculum advocacy and policy, and have very good friends in universities in Turkey where I've spoke about these issues previously. And I hope that I add something new. Coming from the Midwest, where I am right now, I'm struck by how beautiful the natural world is. We have beautiful colors and trees and leaves and school and all kinds of wonderful things in the natural world. And we also have a very teeming viral world, which is, to me, part of what we as educators are facing, which are actually rather theoretical challenges of what education is and what it should be. So I really tried to present this presentation mostly as a theoretical exercise because I think we need to theorize more. But it's not just theory. It's driven, for me as an educator, 30 years working in and around analog technologies, now digital technologies, much like you all in Turkey and elsewhere in the world. Of course, we are evolving with our usage of the technologies, but part of, I think, the challenge is to get maybe more specific about what are the implications and what should we be paying attention to. And to that point, I just wanted to show that there's a publication that I have, and I shared publication with the conference programmers. So this study has really evolved quite a bit. And forgive me if it's too theoretical, but I don't think that we should deny that theory is very important when we think of practice.
Okay. Okay. Todd yaklaşık 30 yıllık eğitim deneyimiyle konuşacağını ve özellikle teknoloji alanında çok uzun yıllardır çalıştığını ve bugün de aslında biraz teorilerin çok önemli olduğunu ve dolayısıyla biraz daha teori ağırlıklı bir planlama yaptığından bahsediyor. Yes, Todd.
So I think we have to start from the start, that the world is living in a viral era. What is implied by that? It's a biological world. We've always been a biological world. We are increasingly aware through scientific discovery and through different health scares and problems and also different types of advances that are needed and bettering of life. But in this world, I say something that maybe seems a little bit absurd, but I think we often act as if we're unaware that we ourselves are viruses, that we are composed of viruses, that when we are in environments of education, we always have to and should be thinking about the natural rhythm of life and the natural environment around us. And I know that's a lot to ask for when you're teaching math or you're teaching another subject, although any subjects, any disciplines can make us more aware of ourselves in the world as biologically determined. Let me stop there for the translation. Yeah.
Okay. Aslında çok viral bir dönemde yaşadığımızdan bahsediyor Todd ve bu biyolojik dünyada virüslerle özdeşleştiriyor bu durumu. E, Kendimiz bile diyor aslında birçok şeyin çok da farkında olmadan yaşıyoruz ve hayatın doğal ritminde kendi farkındalıklarımızı bulmaya çalışıyoruz. Ve bu durumda baktığımızda bu viral ifadesi aslında bir keşif istiyor. Çeşitli eğitimle bağdaştıracak olursak diyor, çeşitli öğretim programlarının bakış açısından baktığımızda bunun gerekli olduğunu söylüyor ve viral olma durumunun birçok farklı boyutunun ve tanımının olduğundan bahsediyor. Yes, please, Todd.
Thank you for the translation. The term, the definitions, I think are important, and how we translate these definitions. I personally like the term virality because it implies a fluid, dynamic process that is happening in our world. And there are two definitions that I want to focus on. So at the risk of explaining that I'm not a physical scientist, I think it's still important that we all as educators are aware that the notion of virus is that there's an infectious microbe. It has DNA, RNA, protein coat, and it cannot replicate alone. I'll stop there. Yeah.
Okay. Terimler oldukça önemli. Şimdi viral ifadesini açıklamak istiyorum. Akışkan ve dinamik bir süreci ifade ediyor ve ifade etmekte bu kavram ve iki boyut olduğundan bahsediyor. İki boyutta açıklamak isterim diyor. Tabii ki ben bir biyolog değilim ama ilk olarak biyolojik tanımlamasını yapmak isterim diyor. Ve virüsün biyolojik tanımlaması şu şekilde yapıyoruz. Yes.
Thank you. And this is important to understand when we think about virus spread. So the technical definition, I am a social scientist, and I've been thinking about this technical definition for 30 to 40 years. I've always been very interested in how images, video, other types of information can be circulated rapidly and widely from the internet. My education was before the internet, but seeing the changes to education as a result of the internet is why I think we have to think of the quality or the fact of the world being viral. I'll pause there.
Okay. Uzun yıllardır aslında ben bu teknik tanımlamaları çok seviyorum ve uzun yıllardır bunlar üzerine çalışıyorum. Image yani resim, video ve bir bilginin eğilimi, hızlı bir şekilde yayılabilecek eğilimi ve bir internet kullanıcısından diğerine yayılma durumu, kalite ve viral olma gerçeği.
So what is at the heart of virality is that we are engaged as teachers and students in an increasingly complex digital world. For those of us who really come from the analog world, we see the digitization with both fascination, with anxiety, with different challenges before us. I experience, like perhaps many of you or some of you may not experience that because this is a world that you are native to or inherited. but I'm inspired by some of the philosophers and some of the social scientists, in particular Jeremy Rifkin, who argued that one thing that we don't really perceive is the nanosecond. This is what he argues. It's it's possible to theorize about a nanosecond and even manipulate time on the computer, but it's impossible to experience it. I'll pause there.
Viral dünyadaki karmaşıklık aynı zamanda farklı karmaşıklık, farklı teknolojik birçok çeşitli elektronik iletişim araçları ve süreçleri tarafından yönetilen bir teknoloji dünyasında bulunmaktayız ve bunlarla meşgul durumdayız. E, Bazı felsefe ve felsefeciler ve aynı zamanda sosyal bilimcilerle çok ilgileniyorum. Bunlardan bir tanesi Jeremy Rifkin ve onun şu ifadesini sizinle paylaşmak istiyorum. Diyor. Nanosecond, nanosaniye olarak geçiyor. Çok burası biraz it's so theoretical, Todd Allen, this part, so I will just summarize it, okay?
Yes,
So
yes.
theoretical. Arkadaşlar burası çok teorik. Özetleyeceğiz burayı. E, Nanosaniyenin saniyenin bilyon tanesi olduğunu ifade ediyor burada ve bilgisayarın aslında bir zaman çerçevesi içerisinde yani bir zaman çerçevesi içerisinde çalıştığından bahsediyor diyebiliriz. Yes, please.
And there are very great implications because our biological understanding of viruses and our technical understanding of viruses affects families. It impacts our profession. It impacts governance. We as humans are increasingly virtual. We are having this conversation right now, of course, from thousands of miles apart. It opens up amazing possibilities. At the same time, it also is hard to imagine what it means to be human now because the organic and the technological are merging. This is not science fiction. This is reality that we are interconnected. And I'll just pause there. That's sufficient for this topic.
Aslında biyolojik ve teknik durumların birleşiminden bahsediyor ve bu dünyanın muhteşem bir birleşim oluşturduğunu ifade ediyor. Örneğin bizlerin şu an kilometrelerce ötede aslında bizlerin hepimizin sanal birer karakter olduğu ve kilometrelerce ötelerden şu anda bağlantı yapıp müthiş paylaşımlar gerçekleştirdiğimizi ve bunun da hem biyolojik hem teknik durumların kesişiminden kaynaklandığını ifade ediyor. Yes.
So I hope that the participants and others, I've presented these ideas to my own doctoral students, and this is the part they really like.
This part.
Yes.
Okay.
Because what I suggest is in order for us to understand virality, sometimes we can draw from fiction. Let me pause there for a minute, if you can translate that.
Okay. Bu bölüm aslında doktora öğrencilerime anlatırken ki süreçte oldukça etkileyici olan bir bölüm. Şu anda katılımcıların kim olduğunu bilmiyorum ama bu bölüm oldukça dikkat çekici.
And the reason why fiction is interesting in this, I suppose, in this experience of virality is because authors and scholars of great literature present ideas about the world that give us a clue as to what type of world we live in. So I tried to show you some books that are inspiring to me to try to explain different periods of time where aspects or characteristics of of of virality are very central to the story. I'll pause there and hopefully you can help translate that.
Okay. Burada size sunmuş olduğum kitaplar aslında bu viral olma durumunu açıklamaya çalışırken feyz aldığım kitaplar. Zamanın farklı dilimlerini açıklamak üzere çalışırken ve zamanın gerçekliklerini açıklamak üzere çalışırken örnek aldığım kitaplar arasında. Yes.
So, just real briefly, the story on the bottom, Love in the Time of Cholera, is very much about virality and love. On the top, Station 11 is a story about the Midwest where I live. And it's in the future where there's no internet, there's no connectivity. I'll stop there.
Okay. Okay. Bu en alttaki kitap viral ve sevgi durumunu, sevgi ile olan ilişkiyi anlatıyor. Station 11 ileriki süreçte internet bağlantısının, gelecekte internet bağlantısının olmadığını konu alıyor. Yes.
Thank you very much. Very excellent translation. I appreciate it.
Really?
So the issue is that the viral age is where information is always rapidly all directions spread. And then it, like we are doing right now, it's identified, translated, repackaged, but that is going on all the time. I tried to use this analogy that it's like the toothpaste. Once the toothpaste is out of the tube, it never goes back in. It always is transformed. It's used in different ways. So this is information. The age that we're in, information is radically dispersed and it evolves. It's never the same. I'll pause there.
Viral çağ aslında bilginin hızla yayıldığı, tüm yönlerde yayıldığı, tanımlandığı, dönüştürüldüğü bir durum. Ben bu durumu aslında diyor Todd bir diş macununa benzetiyorum. Diş macunu tüpten yani tübünden dışarı çıktığında bir şekilde dönüşür ve kullanılır. Bilgi de bu şekilde diyor. Bir şekilde ortaya çıktığında hızla yayılır, dönüşür ve kullanılır. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. And so up until this point, I haven't even talked about the very huge issue of artificial intelligence because I wrote the chapter 2 to 3 years ago without wanting to get into the debate or the conversation. I wanted to suggest we already have a viral world, even if we don't talk about artificial intelligence. But now that we are seeing artificial intelligence popularized, we need to talk about it. I'll pause there.
Okay. Önceki zamanlarda aslında artificial intelligence yani yapay zeka ile ilgili çok konuşmuyorduk ama bu yazmış olduğum bölümde artık oldukça popüler olan yapay zekayı da dahil etmek durumundayız.
So to this end, here is forgive me, but this is one viewpoint that is very very negative, very pessimistic about AI. I'll pause there.
Burada üzgünüm ki yapay zeka ile ilgili oldukça negatif bir durumdan bahsedeceğiz.
And the scholars, I've been reading quite a bit, and my university has been talking quite a bit about AI. But the scholars in this article caught my eye because what they describe is not the end of the world, but it is a little problem that they think has really is going to be a problem for universities.
Okumuş olduğum bir çalışmadaki araştırmacılar aslında yapay zekanın tam anlamıyla dünyanın sonu getirmeyeceğini ama üniversite bağlamında üniversiteye zarar verebileceği yönünde düşünceler belirttiklerini ifade ediyor.
Thank you. So I'll just summarize by saying the two problems that the authors are really putting forward has to do with both regular features of communication, of discussion posts, which in my university we use discussion posts all the time. Conversations between students and students, conversations between the student and the text, or the readings or resources we assign, and conversations between the class and the professor. I'll pause there.
Bu makalenin içerisinde aslında iki problemden bahsediyorlar. Bunlardan bir tanesi iletişim temelli problem. Biz de üniversitemizde aslında bunu çok önemsiyoruz. Öğrenci iletişimi, öğrenci öğretim elemanı iletişimi. Bu yöntemi oldukça fazla kullanıyoruz iletişim odaklı olarak.
So this is taken from or distilled from a corporate educational product producer, very famous one in the United States. And it's giving ideas about how to do school. The authors are concerned because they are worried that corporations will be taking over the pedagogy, the how to do school. Yes, I'll pause there.
Okay, bazı firmalar aslında bu konuda oldukça endişeli çünkü firmaların pedagojinin önüne yani aslında yapay zekadan bahsediyor burada önüne geçebileceğini ifade ediyor ve bu konuda endişelerini dile getiriyor.
And essentially what is driving this is that, of course, not only students, but society is relying very heavily on social media for not only content, but it's very efficient. It's a way to reduce complex ideas into smaller bits and bytes. But this is what the scholars of this article worry about, is that they feel that there's too much reduction of the knowledge that is informed by these very sophisticated tools. I'll pause there.
Makale içerisindeki araştırmacıların bahsettiği diğer bir problem ise bilginin azaltılmasına yönelik diyebiliriz kısacası. Yani bu operatörlerin, işlemcilerin, programların bilgileri azalttığı yönünde endişeleri olduğunu ifade ediyorlar. Yes.
So to summarize this last point, what their concerns are is that the concepts from students learning to argue, take up positions, struggle, like we probably have experienced as educators with different ideas. They argue that the tools are just going to reduce those ideas into a pool of content. And after all, that's what AI is. It's drawing content as an algorithm. And that these services, they say, will grow. In other words, their argument, this is Kirschenbaum and Rayleigh, this is a very recent article, came out a week ago. They said that the schools, the traditional academic institutions, provide lecturers, content, degrees, and they're skeptical of how long that will happen. Then they say everything about the delivery of curriculum, which curricularists like myself don't really like that idea of delivery. They say it will be outsourced to third-party vendors and digital platforms. I'll pause.
Okay. Bu geçen haftalarda karşılaşmış olduğum bir makale. Bu makalede şundan bahsediliyor. Özellikle geleneksel akademi enstitülerinin öğretim elemanlarına içeriği ve daha doğru evet seviyeler sağladığı ama bununla ilgili de teknolojik altyapı, öğretimsel alım ve destek hizmetlerinin hepsinin üçüncü dış kaynaklara aktarıldığı ve dijital platformlara aktarıldığını ifade eden ilginç bir yorum ortaya koyuyorlar.
This is by the way, this part is very, very practical. It's not theoretical, just theoretical. The theory is how knowledge is changing, commoditization, commodification, and the corporate involvement. We theorized that for a long time and struggled with these ideas of what is the role and what is knowledge. But these are actually very practical issues that are looming at every university, which is how much to rely on third-party vendors, and also copyright issues about who owns the content. I'll pause there.
Aslında bu olay biraz teorinin yanı sıra pratik etkileri olan bir durum. Aynı üniversitelerdeki bu copyright olayları gibi, yani bilginin kime ait olduğuyla alakalı tartışmalı durumlardan bahsedebiliriz. Yes.
Thank you. And I just want to say again, for example, anytime I do writing or work, that scholarly work that comes from my role as a professor, I always give credit to my university that I believe they should have ownership, if you will, as well. That it's not just me, but it's my work and my privilege. But that becomes complicated if the university is relying on other party vendors and digital platforms. Whose knowledge is it if it's on a website? And whose knowledge is it if it's in a course module? I'll pause there. Yeah.
Ben profesör olarak yayınlar oluşturuyorum, yazıyorum ve bunun sonucunda bir kredi oluşuyor ve bu kredinin üniversiteye de katkılarından bahsedebiliyoruz. Sorry, Todd, could you please tell me the last two sentences about after you mentioned the credit to the university and ownership, and then?
Yes.
I missed it.
Yes.
Pardon me.
Yes. The question is who owns the content and who has distribution rights when
Okay.
you also have other corporate involvement with course management shells or modules or even platforms.
Aslında diyor, benim o üretimim sonucunda aslında bu içeriğe kim sahip baktığınızda, yani üçüncü taraf satıcıları mı, üniversite mi, copyright sahipleri mi? Yes.
So
Todd, we have just a few minutes, okay?
yes, I'll finish up right now. This
Okay.
is modestly my suggestion is that it's not a solution, but I do believe that we're going to have to treat the technical conditions of virality much like the biological condition. We have to think about how to slow the spread. Now, this isn't an ideal situation, but I think we have to think about how do we cool or slow down the spread of disinformation, or how do we evaluate what counts as useful, thoughtful, and generative information. And I'll stop there.
Okay. Son önerim şu olacak. İdeal olarak bahsettiğim durum. Bu yayılımı nasıl azaltabiliriz? Cevabımız şu. Aynı biyolojik olan o bulaşı tutabildiğimiz gibi bu yayılmayı da yavaşlatabiliriz. Karantina gibi, sosyal mesafe gibi ve aşılama gibi çeşitli önlemler kullanabiliriz. Yes.
For further question, comment, please read what I submitted. Maybe I can take questions on the email, but I
Okay.
would be very interested in your thoughts about this type of work. And thank you very much for the opportunity.
Okay. Sorularınız varsa mail yoluyla alabileceğini söylüyor Todd hocamız. Aynı zamanda bize bir kitap önerisi var. Itinerant Curriculum Theory. İlgi duyanlar bunu da şey yapabilir arkadaşlar, bakabilirler. Yes, Todd, thanks for your fruitful presentation. Would you like to share anything else with us?
No, I'm very interested in learning about the other presentations and finding out how we're talking about education in this moment because there's so much to talk about, and I hope
Okay, so we will
brief.
have lots of sessions. So tomorrow, I will share the program. I will send the program to you. Okay?
Yes, and I appreciate it. I'm actually going to go to a school board meeting now, so I have to do other things, but I will be
Okay.
looking forward to tomorrow.
Okay, Todd şu anda başka bir toplantıya gidecek ve bundan dolayı konuşmayı sonlandırıyoruz. Soru kısmını da dediğimiz gibi mail yoluyla alacağını iletti. Thank you, Todd, for participating in our conference. Okay, see you.
Okay, thank you.